What's up, guys? Excuse me if I don't have the energy I normally do. I've been plumbing for most of the day, and I'm exhausted. It's also why I'm sunburned. So as I've mentioned in the past, I've actually never gotten around to playing the PS3 Ratchet & Clank games. It's been on my list for a while, and I finally have all but one of them, so I can actually finally play them. So the other day, I was actually gonna go and start playing one of them, and I brought out my PS3, I got my controller, but I had a bit of a problem. The controller does not want to turn on. I plugged it in to my little charging thing here and left it there for hours, and it never got any juice in it. So that tells me that the battery in this dude is kaput. Now, I could be the standard gaming peasant and just plug my PS3 controller into the PlayStation with the cable, because it does still work if it's plugged in. But no, this console here came with a wireless controller. It's meant to be played with a wireless controller, and damn it, I want to play it with a wireless controller. So I went on eBay and I found myself a new PlayStation 3 battery. And from what I can tell, this doesn't look like it's gonna be a hard fix. So I wanna do it, walk you guys through it, and one, see if it's actually gonna be difficult, and two, show you guys how to actually do it if this is something you need to do for your own console. So let's clear off the table, let's get y'all over here, and let's actually walk through this process and see if it's something that you might feel like you can accomplish. Alrighty, let's get it. Now, as with any repair, you are gonna need tools of some kind. I will forever sing the praises of these iFixit kits, but luckily with this one, you actually only need a Phillips head screwdriver. Let's see, this looks like a size 0 Phillips. Feels right. Maybe a size 1 might fit it better. Let's see. Yeah, a 1 is gonna be a better fit. So it's a Phillips guy about this big. Now there are just 5 screws holding this guy together. You've got your 1, your 2, your 3, your 4, and your 5. So just get those out and we can get this bad boy apart. All right, so let's get these out of here. And you got this one screw here being difficult, but it is loose, so we should be able to just take it apart and it will come out then. So if you just try and pull it apart after you're getting all the screws loose, you'll notice you'll notice it just doesn't quite want to come apart. No matter how much you pull on it, it just feels like you're gonna break something. Well, that's because it is actually clipped together at the front here. You wanna get your thumb on the bottom half of the shell here, get your other thumb on the other half. With this thumb, you're gonna wanna press in and it will separate and you can pull it apart. Be very careful because the shoulder buttons will just go flying if you're not careful with it. I almost lost one of those whenever I was checking to see how possible this was the other day. And as I told you, this seems to be a pretty simple fix because your battery is just right here. Now, I have noticed that there do seem to be different models of this PlayStation controller. The board is laid out differently, and where these batteries actually sit do seem to be a bit different. Like this one here kind of just sits down in place, whereas on another one it has these little feet on here that actually lock to the board. But this one here just seems to be the one where it just sits because it will just fall off if you're not careful. Now, to get this battery actually free, all we have to do is tug on this little plug right here, wiggle it back and forth until that pops out, and there we go. The battery is free and is safe to dispose of however you see fit. Now, one thing you want to be careful of, I wasn't careful of it whenever I purchased this battery, but one thing just to be cognizant of, some of these batteries that they sell are just the battery and they don't have those little feet. Try to find one with the feet, because this battery is really gonna just sit in here and not really have anything to lock to, and I don't really like that. But I don't really have another option right now because I don't want to go buy more batteries. I don't think it's going to be an issue because on this side of the shell, there is a spot where the battery kind of just falls into and will sit there. It does have enough friction in there that it doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere, but just be wary of it and find you one and make sure you buy one that has the feet. But to get this guy back in place, you just got to do the reverse of what you did earlier. You just got to plug this back in. As you can see, this plug has this little, for lack of a growth at the top of it. right there, and it has a notch on the bottom of it. That makes it to where it can only fit in this plug one way, because this plug also has a notch in it to accept that little extrusion here. So you'll just line that up. Now, I do find this a little difficult to get properly set in this controller with just my hands. So once you get it started, I like to come back in with some tweezers of some kind to just grab on and push it in the rest of the way. Alrighty, and that's really it. We just got to get our controller back together. You see these little notches here in this bit of white plastic here. There's some on both sides. That's about where the hinges on the shoulder buttons here, or on the triggers here, are gonna line up, because those white clips will wrap around this axle here. And it does that on both sides. So I find it easiest to set this, just get this controller back together whenever you line those up first. Kind of get the rings to where they're gonna line up and fold it back. Just fold the controller back together. I've never had this much trouble getting this thing back together. Okay, so you want to make sure, there it is. There we go. Okay, so you want to make sure that that battery that you just put in there, make sure that wire is not in the way of anything, because I was trying to squeeze this thing back together and wound up pinching on that wire some. So hopefully that didn't screw it up. But no, we got power there. Oh, and that screw actually never came out. No wonder it was being weird. So let's get our screws back in, get this thing tightened down, and we should be good to go. Somehow that last screw was not in the tray where I put it. And there we go. So yeah, that actually was a really simple fix. The battery's in a really good place to make this switch. Just make sure whenever you buy your battery, just to get one that has the little standoffs on it, because this one, at least it doesn't shake around in here. But it just being loose and being just sitting on the board does kind of worry me just a touch. So yeah. As you can see, the battery swap did fix the controller, and now I get to play Ratchet and Clank the way it was intended to be played, with a wireless controller. But that's going to be it for me. If you are attending the Southeast Game Exchange, keep an eye out for me. We are there right now. Well, as of this video going live. If you're watching this video at 3 o'clock in the morning, I do apologize, but we are no longer at the convention. Just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to bringing you even more repairs like this as the days go on. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, y'all.